Brought to you by Hug House Productions.
Hey y'all, Will Williams here with something I am so unbelievably excited to talk about. Atypical Artists and Lauren Shippen have come out with a new audio drama. This is so exciting. If you're not familiar with Atypical Artists and Lauren Shippen, hi. Hello, welcome to audio drama, The Bright Sessions, and more. Please go investigate, or you could drop in right now with 2000 and Late. 2000 and Late is a new dark comedy fiction podcast that grapples with the havoc of our current moment and tries to find the hope inside of it. If you are a fan of Hug House's audio dramas, I know that one's gonna resonate with you. This first season is going to be 10 episodes long. We're going to follow Harper, a 36-year-old nihilist whose life is upended when she's possessed by a demon, hell-bent on bringing about the apocalypse. But the demon gives her more power than she's had in her life in a long time. And in a world where so many people abuse their power, we're going to see if Harper will be any different. This show is perfect for fans of Fleabag, one of my favorites, Killing Eve, The Craft, Jennifer's Body, Yellow Jackets, True Blood, and Venom. It's a potent cocktail of feminist rage, queer power, and supernatural mischief. It's unapologetically angry, but also surprisingly tender and deeply entertaining. There are no heroes here and no happy ending, but it's not a tragedy. There are lessons to be learned about mankind, about community, and about yourself, even as you burn everything down. In addition to the show itself, each episode is accompanied by an after show in which creator and star Lauren Shippen talks to people from various professions and backgrounds about how they're finding hope in all the havoc. It's such a good fit for everyone who has loved a Hug House podcast, especially our audio dramas, and I'm sure you can hear how vital it is for right now. Go subscribe to 2000 and Late on your podcatcher of choice or listen ad-free on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. For more information, visit harperandhavoc.com, which of course will be linked in the show notes. Enjoy. I know I will. Welcome back to another episode of ANIMORPHS, the podcast in which I read ANIMORPHS for the first time as a grown-up kind of guy. Hi, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me. In this episode, or in these next, I don't know, 5, 6 episodes, I'm talking to returning guest Leigh Pfeffer about the Andalite Chronicles. Now, for those who don't know, why are you here? Maybe you don't know anything about Animorphs and you're just here because you like the vibe. That would be cool and confusing. Hey, you should go start reading Animorphs. I don't know if anybody's told you recently. I don't know if you've heard this anywhere, but they're actually really good books. So the Andalite Chronicles is technically 3 books squished into 1 book, which is why it is going to take us many episodes. So sit back and enjoy. It's going to be a while. We're going to be talking about Elfangor, who I call Elfie consistently. And you'll be delighted to know that I got one thing super right and one thing consistently wrong for a very long time. Enjoy!
So there's 3 things that I want to talk about overall with this book before we get to point by point.
Yeah.
First, this book is long as fuck.
Yeah.
This book is long as fuck. It's 3 times the length of the other books?
It is 3 times the length of the other books because, if I remember correctly, this was not originally published as 1 book. This was originally published in serial along with the other books as 3 separate, and then it later, I think, either later got published or they side by side did a finished one. But yeah, Yeah, it is. So I think in my original copies, it was 3 copies.
Wow. That makes sense. This guy was huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah. Which is why also at like each of those like 3 parts, it like feels like the beginning of another Animorphs book where it's like, we just talked about this. Why are you doing the exposition? If you were ordering the books as they came out, then you would get the 3 smaller copies.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then they did the one that went to bookstores and the Scholastic book fairs and all of that was the big honker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, I wish that I would have gotten into these books back then. I bet the book fair shit went so hard for these books.
It was so fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a time.
The other 2 things I want to talk about are things that are about me and how I read this book, I suppose. Essentially, I got one thing really, really right and one thing really, really wrong for a long time.
Was that the who the fuck Alaran was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like reading your notes. I'm like, oh, Will, baby.
Yeah. So
listen, there's a lot of like R, like there's a lot of like A ending with an ON names. There's a lot.
I don't even know the name of the dude that I thought that this was for the longest time. So at one point in one of these books, Axe is doing like his little phone home, right?
Yeah.
And he has that moment with the War Prince or what have you who's like above him, who's
and he's like, hey, you
the
fucker.
Signal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, hey, why don't you just lie and put all of the war crimes onto yourself, actually, instead. I thought that was Alaran. And
oh no.
And as I was reading, my Discord server kept being like, hey, you might want to go check over your notes for book 8.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay, I will. And I was like, oh, right. This is the one where the guy and he's got the body that, you know, that Visser 3 is inside of, and they don't kill him and it pisses me off. Right. And that was all I gathered.
Oh no.
And then I kept reading.
You didn't look closely enough at the name.
No. And then I kept, because I was so sure. I was like, I know who this man is.
I know this man.
So then they were like, closer, look closer. And I was
maybe
like,
look closer at some letters.
Yeah, I was like maybe halfway, 3/4 through this book. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah, I see that.
Fuck. Oh,
I see that moment in your notes.
So just let it be known, audience, I am going to be reading through my notes that were taken from that very specific perspective for quite some time. Now,
it's a delight.
Thank you. On the opposite side, I fucking called it. Book 1, I called it. Elfangor talks to Tobias before he dies, and they have some weird little special connection. And from that point, I've been saying, I think that Tobias is more connected to the Andalites for some reason than we think so far. Bitch!
So this is an audio medium, so you can't see me, but I'm doing a little shimmy dance right now because I'm so pleased because I was keeping my mouth absolutely shut for 13 books.
Yes! Oh my god, it's so nice to be reuniting with you here this many books after for me to be right about something for like the first time. It's this and Visser 3 being Marco's mom. That's like it. That's it.
Visser 1. Visser 1.
Visser 1. Oh my god.
Can you imagine Visser 3 Marco's mom?
Marco, no, fool, I am your mother.
I mean, that's literally that would be great. That's where he would have gotten his sense of humor.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, amazing.
I was fucking thrilled. I was fucking thrilled. Also, yikes. Ow. Wow.
Yeah. And but something before we start this book, I think also is important to note is that so you and I talked kind of at length without me giving anything away of the reading order for this book. Because it is contested in that there are some people in the fandom who really strongly advocate for not reading this book until after book 23, which I will give zero context for, but like there are things that happen that like change like the perspective around that. Sure. And so can you like just imagine for a second not having read this book and waiting 10 more books to read it?
No.
I think that it's very important to read it now, and now your perspective as the reader who knows a thing that characters do not.
Yeah, we love dramatic irony.
Exactly. Like I'm like the dramatic irony is totally worth it. Like people are like, it's a spoiler, and I'm like, no. It would be a spoiler for the characters, but guess what? They can't read their own book. So we get the beauty of dramatic irony.
Yeah, it's great. Dramatic irony, like as part of a reading experience, and also textually in whatever I'm reading. I love it. I love that shit. So I'm very glad I did it now. There were also, I think, a few people who said to read it before book 13. And I don't know. I don't feel like either would have made a huge difference. I do feel like reading it here felt really good, though. Yeah.
It's really before or after book 13 is really kind of a non-issue. It's really more the before or after book 23.
Sure. So this is crazy. Because this entire book is from Elfangor's perspective when he was, like, a teenager.
Yeah. And
it's
literally, like, a memory play.
Yeah! And we know that it's a memory play because it starts from his POV when he is literally about to die. He is giving his Hirak Delest, which is his final statement. It is a ritual where he has a mental connection to a computer to basically like upload his memories to this computer so that they'll have a record of it, right? And he says that he's been to Earth before a long time ago. To which I said, What?
I know. I was like, especially after the Jungle book, I was like, I don't know how Will is gonna react to the time travel hinkiness that is the end of this book, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll get there. I do. So he's looking for something called the Time Matrix. And I think that this is a very silly name for a time travel device, but it is what it is. It's very of its time. We'll take it. So one of the things in the first book that, like, I was kind of thinking to maybe justify Elfangor's actions here to myself was, like, maybe he just literally doesn't know that they're children. Like, they're humans. He doesn't know what a human is, really. Boy, howdy, was I wrong. And wowie zowie, he fully knew these were child soldiers. Don't love that, but he really did not have another choice here, and
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of guided.
Yeah, I understand why he may have trusted this specific group of children.
Yeah.
I think he maybe had a little bit of incentive there, perhaps. So he also starts this ritual by saying, I open my mind in the ritual of death, which is very good. Very good.
There are points in this book where I'm like, God, this prose is so fucking good. And then there are moments where I'm like, that's so silly.
That's so silly. Yeah. This one was like pretty, like written pretty beautifully because Elfangor is so regal. Like, even when he's being like a dumbass little kid and kind of a little shit and what have you, and like a little goofball, he still speaks as somebody who is brought up in nobility. And the prose is like really lovely because of that. They have a really, as always, great sense of character voice as they go.
You keep saying that he is brought up in nobility, but it's and I think it becomes more clear in this book. The prince thing is purely like it is like a military rank.
Yes. I guess I should say nobility in as much as like this is like how they see this. Right. You know, like there is this like this if you even are in these ranks, it seems like such a revered position that even though it is military and not like statehood, you know, it's not like governing body, it still seems like they have this very inflated sense of status.
Yeah.
And that comes through. And I also just really like Elfangor's voice. It's very specific. It's different from Axe's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Which I think is really nice. Like you can tell that they're related in how they talk, but Elfangor is much more, well, the first thought that came to my mind was grounded. And then the second thought that came to my mind was normal.
He's a dude. He's just
a dude. Yeah.
And I really love that about these books is that you could very easily like collapse like this is an alien race.
Yeah.
And all of the alien race are like this. And instead it's just like I really love that this book specifically continually uses the word like people, whether Andalite or human. Never mind the fact that he never says people, whether Andalite, human, or Yeerk, but we'll get into that later. This is what happens when you dehumanize, or in this case, depersonalize an entire race, which is anyway. But yeah, but like it's like people is not exclusive to one particular species. Yeah, it's just like you get characters. But you get characters who are in fact characters, and it's not like you have a culture built in that informs how these people talk and behave. But they're not all like it's not like all Vulcans being completely emotionless. Like
yeah, there is like it really does seem like every single species has like really. Like, they're all multifaceted. I would say least of all the taxons, but even then, like, I don't know. I do think that there is a sense of interiority that is conveyed at least a little.
Yeah.
Like, especially as we're in their minds later on, that you at least understand, like, why they are the way that they are in a way that, again, I think, like, shows how they work and why. And, like, there is... Also, like cognition there.
And also like that's the example of an entire species literally being a hive mind, so that makes more sense.
Yeah. Absolutely. This book's crazy.
Crazy.
Literally forgot about that entire section of the book.
Well, I figured you would. I figured you might do a little bit of trauma, black that out.
Yep. So our first chapter after this like intro is we get jumped back 21 years earlier. And we find out that the Yeerk invasion is in full swing. The Andalites have only directly been fighting for 5 years. And we meet Elfangor on a dome ship called the Star Sword, which is a pretty fucking cool name.
Yeah.
He is what we call an Aristh?
Aristh.
Yes. He is like a cadet, basically. He's a little guy in training, a child soldier, if you will. And he is training with some guy called Sofor, and sure, whatever. And we immediately get that he's like literally just a guy. Like,
just a baby.
He's just a baby. He is like...
And he's a nerd.
He is a nerd. He's so cute.
Yeah, Elfangor in the beginning of this book is like extreme bullyable vibes.
Yeah.
You know?
Elfangor, we find, has like a little bit of an ego problem. He gets kind of defensive when he doesn't know something or doesn't do something perfectly. I think this makes complete sense. And then he's done training, and he runs into this other kiddo named
Arbron? Yeah.
Arbron, yes. I like Arbron. So
Arbron's great.
Arbron is a little shit. This dude sucks.
He's the Marco. He's the Marco insert.
Yes, exactly. He's just like being a normal teenage dude, and this is when I find out that Prince is not royal lineage.
Right.
It is just a rank. They're like talking shit back to each other and like normal teenage boy stuff, and then they get
I love them calling Sophor like old hoof and tail.
Yeah, like old ball and chain.
Yeah,
so
it's just like, it's their nickname for like the old grizzled war dude that they're like, their teacher they're talking about behind their back, and Elfangor's like, dude, you can't call dad that.
Do it. Guys, we're gonna get in trouble. So
stop.
They get called to the battle bridge, and they're both like, oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. The passage I have pulled here says, see, it was impossible. Neither of us had ever been to the battle bridge. The battle bridge was where the captain was, and the captain of a dome ship is like one of the ancient gods. I mean, captains don't even look at Aris. So this is
military is God.
Yes. Sorry, I just saw my next note and it took me very long to understand what the fuck I was talking about. I said, dude, I fucking hate the Gem Home Planet. Yeah, this is Gem Home Planet Steven Universe big time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Then we get to they're talking about the dome ship and the layout of it. The Arists get quarters that are so small that they literally can't turn around with their big centaur bodies. To which I said, Bender apartment ass horse shit. Have you ever seen the episode of Futurama where Bender and Fry move in with each other?
Oh God, I feel like I have, but it's been so long. But I just this is one of the things that I have such a beautiful like mental picture of just his ass just going into the freaking hallway and everybody having to move past him.
Yes. Doing the little beep, 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 backing up noise.
Yeah.
So one thing that is really sweet that I like, this really touched me. He does a little ritual to what's called a wish flower.
Yeah.
And he says, I have holograms of my mother and father, of course, plus a wish flower representing the little brother I'll be getting in a few years. The electorate has voted to allow more children to be born since we're in a war now. That part's not cute, but
that's not great. But hey,
they say, he's like, yeah, more, if the war keeps going, more families. But it's just really cute that he does a ritual for baby Axe who's gonna be born eventually. Yeah. That's so cute.
Although it did give me pause in the way that this is written, right? Like, plus a wish flower representing the little brother I'll be getting in a few years. So I have two questions. Or two scenarios. One, is this mom and dad have decided to have another kid in the future? And he's like, this will happen. And at some point I will be, at some point my parents will have another kid. It probably won't be for a couple of years. Or is it mom is pregnant and Andalite gestation takes a couple of years?
I'm not going to lie. That was 100% what I thought. I didn't even question
so
it.
I'm just like, poor Andalite mamas. I'm so sorry. Can you imagine being a horsewoman? And
No.
And
First off, no.
and just like a horse lady and being pregnant for a couple of years. No, thank you.
Absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah. That was like my two. I'm like, oh, it's either one or the two.
Yeah.
And I really hope that it's the one.
Yeah. See, but the other thing is that I do like the idea that, like, there is already an axe forming who, like, these wishes could be spiritually sent to.
Yeah.
I think that that's a lot cuter than basically sending a letter to Santa, you know?
Yeah.
So they are getting to the battle
bridge place.
Battle bridge. And everything is bad. It's like there's a lot of activity. Everybody seems stressed out. And they find out that there's a Skritna raider in the orbit of probably Saturn, I'm gonna guess. But, like, honestly now, because, well, no, yeah, probably Saturn.
At this point, it was Saturn.
Yeah.
We didn't know that, like, Neptune and shit had rings at that time.
Neptune has rings?
Or is it Neptune?
I don't know. I thought that was just a Saturn thing.
No, there's another planet or two in our solar system that has fainter. I mean, Saturn's the one that has, like, rings, but
yeah,
there are other planets that have, like, bitty rings.
Oh, they got married.
Yeah.
So,
they put rings on it.
Yeah.
They liked it.
The raider ship came from Earth. Which is not good because Earth has, like, nuclear weapons and shit. And so the captain is asking Elfangor what he would do in this situation. And Elfangor is like, me? What? He's like not ready for this.
I'm baby.
Elfangor says that they should intercept with the two that are on course and the two behind. And then Arbron is also asked, and he says the Skritna sometimes serve the Yerks, so they should check on board for any Yerk shit going on. To which I said to all of this, do y'all have a fucking warrant? Like, they just see the ship of, like, they're doing racial profiling here. Straight up. Like, just needs to be said, this is racial profiling. They don't have a warrant. This is so bad. I don't like the Andalites. I don't like them.
I mean, yeah. But also, like, the Skritna are, like, well known as basically the smugglers of the universe. So they, they're like, quote unquote, space criminals, which, so of course they're gonna do you have a fucking warrant on them?
Yeah, space criminals, like the things that Earth cops say about specific races when they do racial profiling.
Yep, exactly.
So the reason we find out that the reason they're being asked to help is because they're the only ones small enough to move in the Skritna ship.
It's time to do a child labor because you've got tiny fingers for the factory.
Yeah, fucking Snowpiercer shit over here.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrific and also kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So they're doing it, and they're deciding, like, who is going to pilot and who is going to not pilot, and Elfangor uses 4 days that he is older than Arbron to take seniority, so that he can pilot and then Arbron can take the weapons. But also it should be noted that Arbron is good at weapons. He's good at it. But he's, like, not supposed to be good at computer shit because it's, like, nerdy.
Yeah. It's the nerd versus jock dichotomy of the military of, like, oh, it's, it's you're not supposed to be an office. You're not supposed to be, like, a smart officer if you're, like, infantry.
Yeah. Arbron is, like, pissed that it's not just straight up Yerks, because he's like, if it was Yerks, we could just fight. To which I said, lol, not for long, Arbron. I know you don't survive this book.
I mean, you were wrong, but were you wrong?
I was wrong, asterisk.
Right, yeah.
So they're flying, they're chasing this raider ship, and then Elfangor like immediately fucks up and goes too far too fast because the ship is so much like better than he's expecting. I like that the Skritnaw ship also is just straight up a flying saucer. I think that that's very funny.
Yeah, no, these are if you didn't clock it, the Skritnaw are just like the little green or little gray men that we all know as aliens.
Yes. Which I didn't know that these were Skritnaw when I read book 14 where they do come up. But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. It really doesn't change anything. So
yeah, I think somewhere in my notes, I just went X-Files theme. Like that's,
exactly.
This is the vibe. It's like, oh, let's explain all of the alien sightings on Earth with these fuckers who just like to come and collect shit.
Yes,
which makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And that's such a good like explanation of what that kind of alien would be and why they've been like seen around Earth. It's because they're stealing shit. That's why they got tractor beams. So
they need cows for their zoo.
Yeah. They're chasing, and then one of the Skritnaw ships starts firing first. And they're like, oh, okay. If they're firing first, instead of just trying to run away, they must have something really important on board. Like, really important. They're still chasing. They're chasing the second ship, and they're being told that they're doing a good job, which is great. And they finally get to one of these ships, and they're gonna board. This is when Arbron is like, I don't want to be a good data guy. It's the nerd shit. Shut up, girl. And then at the end of this chapter, and this is chapter 3, we're going to be kind of like running through these quite a bit because, again, it's a very long book. Elfangor's narration is, as they're about to board this ship, I was on top of the universe. I was a hero in waiting, practically a prince already. The war with the Yeerks would be over just as soon as I could get in the game. I was a fool. Yes. And then my note is, that's what Visser 3 has been saying, my man. Or I guess will be saying, because I forgot timelines. And then in this next chapter, chapter 4, we start introducing some other really principal characters in this book. So the Skritnaw are just collectors. They're actually like kind of two, I think they call them two species, but they're not. They're like just a larval stage and then a grown stage.
Yeah.
Where the Skrit are like larvae and the Gnaw are like a butterfly, but like not quite to those, again, like little green men. So I thought that was cool. I liked that they had different life stages with different appearances, which is very interesting. We do find that they kidnap people for experiments or zoos, so that's cool. The ship, once they get on, is filled with smoke. There is another alien with a modified Dracon beam, and this is a human person. This is a teenage girl named Lauren. Lauren is spelled Loren.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. I don't know why they spelled her name like that.
Because she's a special girly.
She's a special girly. She's blonde and she's cute. And Elfangor has like no idea what's going on because the translation chip isn't working yet. And when it finally starts working, the Skritnaw captain is like, watch out, dude, they're fucking crazy about these human people that they've abducted. They're like, they're gonna fucking get you, man. Which is very funny.
I regret everything.
Yes. Elfangor is like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. Like, what's happening here? Arbron tells him to thought speak to the girl, so he does. He tells her to drop her weapon, and she says, no. Which, good job, Lauren. Good job. They say that they're there to help her, and she's like, I'm good. I took care of the situation, actually. I'm fine. thanks, though. And she points out that she and the other, because there's another human here, that they're both just kids. So he tells her that she can keep the Dracon beam, but she can't point it at anybody. And she keeps making like references to human media. And I am not somebody who like is wild about reference humor, especially in media. So I just said, girl, shut up. I was already really annoyed.
If you were a teenager getting abducted by aliens, you would be like, oh shit, they're like little green men. Oh shit, this is like Star Trek, which I also really enjoy that, she specifically says like, oh, I'm tired of being kidnapped and dragged off by giant cockroaches and little green men from Mars. And Arbron and Elfangor are like, what? They're gray. I don't understand.
Yeah.
What little green men? The Na are gray. I don't understand.
Also, of course she's able to pull out all these references, given I think that she has some pretty specific interests.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that later. I also like something that I really, really appreciate in this book in getting the POV from Elfangor is like we met Axe and then got several books before we got his POV. So like he had already been around humans and like learned some things about Earth, etc., etc. And I love this POV where literally this is a guy who's just like, the fuck is that? Like the encountering of so many human things that are so incredibly new to Elfangor is we get this perspective of I love any media that really goes, oh yeah, this is alien. Like the way he approaches learning about human shit is so refreshing that like none of it is like normalized, and we get to as readers take like be like, oh yeah, we probably shouldn't like take for granted that this is just like shit that we know.
Yeah.
Like, what would somebody encountering a human for the very first time think of the fact that we like wear clothes?
Yeah, he does think that it's like removable skin. He's like not grasping it, which makes sense, but also ew.
Yeah. Oh, this book is very ew. We'll get to it.
This book is very ew.
This has some of the best body horror in the whole series, I think.
I agree. So the second human is knocked out, and they're bleeding. And the Andalite's response is to be like, ew, red blood. And the way that I got immediate Homestuck flashbacks. Absolutely terrifying. Scared for my life. I was really like, I can't do this. I can't do this again, please. So they're almost back to the dome ship because they're steering this ship back. And that's when the other human who has been captured wakes up. It's a dude. Lauren calls him a kid, but they're like around the same age, I think. I really have no concept of how old they're supposed to be. I was guessing like 14?
Yeah.
I don't even know,
probably,
though.
Yeah. We're probably around that. Probably a little bit older than the Animorphs.
Yeah. This dude immediately sucks so fucking bad. He is immediately such an asshole. He's so rude. He's extremely ungrateful. The way that he talks is just insufferable. And wouldn't you know it, that's fucking Chapman. What? What?
Readers, I'll have you know that in Will's notes, there's just in size 57 font, there's just in all caps, Chapman with 5 question marks. And as a response, I just put a gif of Tiffany Pollard New York, just Beyonce, because that is exactly the vibe that I got when I first read your notes on this.
Yeah, nothing could have prepared me for Chapman as a child being in this book.
Even years after reading this book, I still I know that Chapman is a child in this book, but I cannot create a mental picture of this man with hair.
No.
So
I'm picturing
I just keep picturing him as like a balding 14-year-old boy.
Exactly. Wearing like an ugly button-down shirt with an ugly tie.
No, I fully striped like 80s shirt and bell-bottom jeans him, but just like bald, like a bald dude. Not like a I've shaved my head bald, but like bald with a little bit of hair on the sides.
Amazing. Yeah, see, I picture that, but also with him still dressed like an assistant principal. But just small. You know, like when they put like boy toddlers in little suits for weddings?
Yeah.
Like that kind of vibe?
Yeah.
So, okay, also, his name is Hedrick? What?
I mean, listen, if your name was Hedrick, maybe you would also be a fucking little shit, too.
I would at least go by my last name, definitely.
Yeah, and he sure does.
He sure does. Hedrick Chapman, that's so unfortunate, dude. Somehow he sucks even worse before he has a yerk in him. Like, this entire book, he is so irredeemably terrible. Yeah. The whole book.
That's why the entire time you're like, Elfie, I know you have morals and shit, but like, literally just kill this guy.
Smoke him. Yeah.
Just kill this guy.
Kick him out the door into space now.
Yeah.
So, in my notes, I say, genuinely cannot believe how much worse he is. They wrote the single most unlikable man ever.
Sure
he's trying to get the Dracon beam from Elfangor, and Elfangor is like, stop. And Chapman is like, because Elfangor is like, you have such bad manners. And Chapman is like, well, you have really good manners, but I bet you're evil. And you know, I'm not gonna lie. He's not wrong. Like
Chapman is, in some ways, the epitome of that meme of like, the worst person you know just made a really good point.
Yes.
Because that happens so many times during this book. You're like, oh, man,
it does.
You're right, but I fucking hate you.
You're right, but can you be less of a dick about it?
Right, yeah.
So, the next chapter, chapter 6, starts with, and I just gotta talk about this thing that I discovered while reading. So they're walking through the dome ship, and there's some kind of like gravity shift. I didn't really understand it at first, then I understood it. It's like Inception Hallwood in the hotel scene. They get onto the dome ship, and Lauren is like, hell yeah. And
you live in a park.
She loves it. She's stoked. Elfangor is telling her to eat as much as she wants, and she's like, eat what? And he's like, grass? And she's like, what? It's really great. Chapman immediately understands what's happening here. He's like, oh, you eat through your feet. Okay, got it. Or at least he gets that they don't eat with their mouths, and Arbron tells him it's the feet. And we get this great moment where Lauren is asking if she can take her shoes off, and they're like, what is shoe? And she takes the shoes off, and Elfangor is like, why are you ripping off your foot?
He's like, please stop. That's gonna hurt you.
And as they're kind of just like hanging out in the first chill moment here in the dome ship, we definitely get the vibe that there is some looking happening between Elfangor and Lauren. And immediately I felt the vibe of, is this a monster fucker book? And yeah, it really is.
And my note next to that is literally, welcome to Monster Fuckers, the book for children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elfangor's
like, oh, humans have such strong arms. They can climb. Wow.
Wow, they can twirl. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I will say, right at this point, I was already, my mind was like putting shit together. I was like, now hold on. If this is a monster fucker book, I have some ideas. Because
Tobias be monster fucky baby.
Yes, because I was like, well, we don't have any information on his parents. They're just like mysteriously up and gone, right? And he just lives with like a distant like relative, like an aunt who's like not even there. And I know that something is going on with Tobias because this is the one theory that I've been holding on to since book 1. I was already putting things together. And I kept being like, don't be crazy. No, I was right. I was right.
Yeah, it's good shit.
So then
they're on the dome ship and the captain's like, cool. So like we got a debrief from this mission. Go put the humans in the brig.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Chapman's just like, what are you doing? And they're talking about like clothes.
Yeah.
Like, why do you wear clothes? Why do you wear artificial skin? And Chapman's like, because we might get cold. It's like, so why don't you just live in warm places? It's like, because we're humans and we take over the planet any which way we fucking want. We don't give a shit that we're not supposed to live in the cold. And that's the moment where like Elfangor is starting to be like, oh, humans might be like something to contend with.
Yeah, humans might be kind of fucked up, actually.
Yeah. Huh. All these moments of like, they don't even have tails. They have two legs. They must be super weak. And then they're like, oh, they got strong arms and they live in cold places and they've adapted to make that happen. And oh, fuck.
And the nuclear weapons, yeah.
Yeah.
So they are gonna leave the ship, but they don't know to where or why or anything else. All they know is that they're supposed to get to a docking bay, and Alaran is their commander. And we find Lauren and Chapman behind Alaran, and he is in front of this big ship that is so beautiful and amazing. He calls the ship the Jahar, which he named after his wife, which is sweet. We love a wife guy.
And it's extra funny that you did not remember that this is Visser 3, because there's that whole thing in book 8 about like Alaran waking up and be like, tell my wife I love her!
Yes. Yes, there really is. There really, really is. Nope, I was fully oblivious. Still thought this was another dude. So
now my question is he saying tell my wife I love her, or tell my ship who I named after my wife I love her?
Definitely the ship, because as they're all looking at this ship, they're so horny about how beautiful it is.
They truly want to fuck the ship.
They do. They want to fuck that ship. So the ship, they get onto it. The mission is that they're going to bring Lauren and Chapman back home, erase their memories, then get back to the Star Sword. Lauren does not want her memories removed, but like Alaran does not fucking care. They got into the Jahar. The ship is super nice. It has a grass floor. It's not steel. It has a waterfall in it, which is it's just a very luxurious ship. They explain Z-space because Chapman is like, how are we going to get back to Earth? This is ridiculous. So Elfangor explains Z-space travel. I'm sorry, Arbron does. And Chapman says, but I suppose you Andalites keep the secret to yourselves, eh? And Alaran says, not always. Once we shared it. The result was the Yeerk Empire that threatens all decent species.
don't love the phrasing of decent species. He says, but glad you are safe on your simple planet. Be glad you are safe on your simple planet, alien. The galaxy is not a happy place to be anymore. Yikes. I don't like how he phrased that, but also, again, like, we do just kind of have this re-upping on the stakes here that I thought was pretty satisfying. So then I forgot that I got this double wrong. So Arbron keeps talking, and I'm like, that's definitely Visser 3's host body, right? Arbron? I'm pretty sure that was the name that I remember.
Wow, Will, way to not be able to tell the difference between two Andalites.
No,
wow,
I
guess all Andalites look the same to you, Will.
All their names look the same.
Yeah, God. I've been waiting until this moment to just bust that out.
I fully thought for most of this book that it was Arbron who was going to get Visser 3'd. So
who do you think has the worst deal?
Oh.
Oofta.
I think Alaran does. Because he doesn't get any friends, you know?
Yeah.
Arbron makes it out of here with, like, a community. Alaran is alone, stranded.
Trapped in his brain
that's doing war crimes on his people. Like,
yeah.
and then he doesn't even get to die when he's finally free.
Yeah.
Like, this shit blows.
Yeah. But at least he gets to say fool a lot.
He does get to say fool a lot, and that must be pretty satisfying. So this is going to be a super long trip. They can't use Z-Space, and Elfangor is so fucking bored. Alaran is brooding, and Arbron is going through all of this data, and he's doing, like, a really good job. And this is the first time Elfangor sees him taking something seriously. Arbron definitely has this sort of, like, lackadaisical attitude. He's much more at ease often than Elfangor is. He seems to have a lot less riding on, like, some specific fame and glory from his prowess. He's just, like, a pretty normal kid who is, like, doing a thing that he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing him, like, dive into this and really take it seriously is, like, the first thing that kind of impresses Elfangor about Arbron. And
when
sets
it's
up
feeling so sudden and new.
Yeah!
Help myself. Could not help myself.
It's true, though, because I think this is, like, the first moment that we start setting up what later becomes their friendship as it grows over this book to make us sad. So this was a nice moment. So Elfangor, to pass the time, is hanging out with Lauren, obviously. She's very homesick, and she's worried about her parents worrying about her. And then she's asking things about Elfangor, and, like, do you have a mom? Does your mom have feelings? And he's like, I don't have feelings, and neither does a mom of mine. Never feelings have I ever, and I don't feel I'm strong man. I'm strong man, and I don't feel homesick, and I don't miss my mommy. And Lauren is like, oh, okay.
Cool, bro.
Cool, I believe you. Oh my God. I forgot. Holy shit. So Lauren, because this is, like, brought up, you know, like, they're having a conversation. This comes up naturally. Lauren talks about her dad being a veteran who has PTSD. And seemingly this is from the Vietnam War. And, like, I'm gonna be so brave and not talk about how the Vietnam War is one of the stupidest, most evil things that our stupid fucking evil country has ever done. I don't have to worry about that right now. That's not the point of conversation. We're talking about how her dad has PTSD, which is objectively really fucked up and sad. And then Chapman starts talking about, like, wars and how they're fought between these cultures. Chapman says, we fight each other. So, Lauren,
Daddy went nutso, huh? Another whacked out nom vet? I guess some guys can't take it. Bruh. You can't say that shit! Oh my god! Dude, you can't say that! You can't say that, dude! What the fuck, man? You can't say that shit! What the fuck? What the fuck?
Truly, objectively the worst man.
Objectively the worst man! What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I gasped reading that. I was like, I can't believe. And it was very funny because usually when I'm reading books, they're very much books to me, right? I'm not I don't see them as events that are happening and people who are talking. It's very much a piece of art that I can't really get myself lost in that much typically. In this moment, I was literally I can't believe he would say that.
Yeah. Just a little shit of a man who's this is the cool, unaffected thing to say right now.
So fucked up.
And Alaran PTSD. Right, and Alaran immediately is just this is where you get Alaran has seen some shit.
Yes.
It's where Alaran is have you been in war? Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Immediately shuts it down. Immediately shuts it the fuck down.
Yes, it's really good. The fact, the way, too, that he is oh, I can tell that you've never had a real problem in your life. I can tell you can't talk shit. It's great. It's so good.
And then the way that completely rocks Elfangor's view of, Andalites and war, and this is the first time he's ever seen anybody that he's ever interacted with not just be war's great and noble.
Yeah.
To be oh, he's oh, Andalites don't have PTSD, but then he's seeing Alaran be
oh, we got it bad, actually.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. This is
stuff's bad.
Having this other sentient species asking about his culture and that kind of letting things click into place for him is so good. It made me think actually a lot about the way I've seen a lot of people what do you call it? Not dismantle.
It's basically just tearing down the wall of the propaganda that you've been subjected to.
There is a word for it. And of course I'm not going to remember.
Deprogrammed.
Yes. From really fundamental religions or high control groups. A lot of what gets through to people is not debating them and not telling them why they're wrong or why their beliefs are stupid or what have you. I don't know why anybody ever thinks that would work. Instead, it's just asking questions genuinely and then waiting to hear what comes of that, you know? So this was a really interesting moment where we get this first kind of crack in the perception Elfangor has about the Andalites, which was interesting because I don't think that I ever would have expected. I mean, I don't think that I really expected Elfangor to have much of a personality, to be honest. I thought that he was going to be just kind of this lofty figure. We do get some ideas that he was just normal, a normal dude before this, but I still thought he was going to be pretty one note. And no, that's not the case at all. And I certainly would not ever have expected that he would have criticisms of Andalite culture at all. And already we're getting some of that dissection of his beliefs, which I found really satisfying.
Yeah. Well, because it's the propaganda versus the reality, right? It's not that this is Andalite culture. It's that this is Andalite propaganda. Even the Andalites that we're interacting with on a moment by moment basis. I mean, granted, Alaran is extremely fucked up, but but even so, the other Andalites that we talk to later, this is a propaganda machine and does not necessarily reflect the individual reactions to this cultural log line, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good shit.
Good shit. Immediately followed by Lauren being horny on Maine. Speaking of characters who are rather one-dimensional, straight up, I don't give a shit about Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren's kind of like, whatever. She's
there.
Really she's really a stand-in for, humans can be cool.
Yeah, it's very funny because I kept feeling like Lauren is a girl love interest character that seems to be written by a man, but I know that's not the case. So it's just very like, what's happening here? But she'll do. She's got hair, I guess. Like, it's fine.
I do like that she does have some great moments and like,
yes,
she's very perceptive. You're right in that she's very Marco. Like, she watches, she observes, she makes she notices.
She'll also kick your ass.
Yeah, I think that this, like, she would benefit. She's a character who would benefit from like a chapter or two in her POV, I think.
Exactly. So, like, we'll take it. She's just not terribly captivating, so I probably won't talk about her in depth a lot because there's not a lot to talk about, especially when up on the other side is Chapman being the worst man ever written, and there's like quite a lot to talk about with him.
Yeah.
Every time she flirts, she's so forward. He doesn't know that she's being very forward. I know that she's being very forward. She is being the most direct 101 flirter imaginable.
I like serious
immediately.
Guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's like, Elfangor, when they wipe my memory, will I forget
God.
you?
You cannot do this voice for the entire time we record. You can't. No. I will have to get off of this call. So
what, you don't like my cis girl voice?
It's so upsetting! No! I hate it. I hate it. I'm bailing on this episode immediately.
On one of these calls, I'm going to break out my retail voice.
I didn't know my ears could cringe, but I just experienced that. Jesus. That was unexpected reaction from me. Oh, fuck.
I need to remember.
I can't let you continue this. I have to stop this.
I need to remember that I can whip that one out and scare the shit out of people more.
Oh God, no. I also screw the body horror in this book. That's the scariest thing that's happened.
I also love that his response is like, "Yes, we're wiping your memory." Like, that's the point.
Oh God.
It's very funny. It's very funny.
I'm crying.
Yes. And then she asks why they don't have mouths.
I really love that both you and I had the exact same response to this, which is like, oh my God, Karen. Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
That's like literally almost exactly what he says. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And then he says
I have it right here. It's it's Lauren, how can he answer that question? He doesn't have a mouth. We do. Why do we have mouths? Stupid question.
Stupid question.
Oh my God, Karen, you can't just ask people why they don't have mouths.
And then he says, anyway, I have a better question. And his question is like fully unrelated to what she just said. And then also his question isn't a question. He literally does less of a question, more of a comment. And he's like, anyway, you should sell your alien tech on Earth and make a whole bunch of money so much. And they're like, he's like, you could totally rule Earth if you wanted to. And Elfangor is like, yeah, we're kind of like trying to stop another species from doing that because we think that that's bad, actually. And Chapman's like, you're so fucking stupid. You could just end all war if you wanted to. You're so goddamn stupid. And cut off by Arbron. They're just like going in circles about this fucking stupid conversation. It's so dumb. And
the men are talking.
Yes. Then we talk about the time matrix a little bit more. We know that it's an extremely
this is where they discover that the Skritna had
yes
found the time matrix. They're like, oh man, it seems that the reason why they were like running the fuck away from us was because they had this very important MacGuffin on board.
Yes, this very important MacGuffin. It's a time machine, basically, more or less. They found it under the pyramids, which I thought was very funny. And also like a little bit Ancient Aliens of them, but I also do think that like it's very Alien versus Predator. You know,
it's very Stargate. I mean, it's very Stargate, which makes sense.
I've never seen Stargate.
Oh my god, there are so many parallels. Like literally, the big like evil alien race in Stargate is the Goa'uld, which is literally a parasitic race that attaches to like your brain. And like they're very intertwined.
Very much, yeah. I love baby Stargate.
Oh yeah, Stargate Atlantis is my redheaded stepchild, beautiful, amazing, wonderful gay series that I love.
I understand deeply.
Yeah.
I will have to check it out. It's going to be on my list of other shit that I need to watch now that I've read Animorphs.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So Alaran is thrilled that he gets to get the time matrix away from these idiots because he's gonna be a big hero about this. And I just say, yeah, so that's definitely not happening. So now that they found this out, they're like, hey, Lauren Chapman, I know that you wanted to go home, but this is literally exponentially more important than that shit. So you're just gonna have to come along with us.
Sorry, bros.
They find out that the Skritna took the time matrix to the Taxon homeworld. That's not good. That's not a good place for it to be. So this means that they don't even know what they have, because if they did, they'd take it to the Yeerks. So this is like kind of a positive that the Skritna like very obviously do not realize how important the time matrix is, because they would have gone to sell it off for more money, basically. So that's like the one thing that they have in their corner, is that seemingly they're the only ones who know what it is. Meanwhile, Chapman is getting super pissy because the Andalites are talking in thought speak about their big fancy secret weapon, and he says,
Stop keeping secrets.
Yeah. What about me? I want to hear. What's up? So he does bring up, like, hey, I can tell that you're scared shitless about whatever is going on. And if you're scared, that means that something is dangerous. And I, too, am here. So I do think that I kind of have a right to know what's happening. Again, worst person you know just made a great point.
That is his entire character.
It really is. Except for that one time that he was like, haha, your dad has PTSD. Not a good point. Not a good point there.
No, there's reasons why he's the worst person. Like, the worst person you've ever met who just made a good point does not always make good points.
Yes.
Most of the time, it's bad. It's bad points, and that's why they're the worst person you've ever met.
Exactly.
But sometimes a clock is right twice a day.
Sometimes a clock is right like 5-6 times a book.
For real.
So, confirmed it's a time machine. They have this conversation of like, here's why it's important. Kill Hitler, baby Hitler. We all know the time machine conversation. And at this point, I start putting together like, okay, is this tied into the time fuckery of Jake's book? Is this tied into the future Rachel from that other book? And those, I know that there was like some Ellimist fuckery. God damn it. I forgot. Fucking Ellimists, man. I fucking hate these guys.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I'm like putting things together as we're going here. And Chapman is like, oh, they have a time machine? No worry, you're scared. They're super gonna fucking kill you. And Elfangor is like, okay, if they kill us, I just want you to understand that you and your planet also die. Like, that's bad for you too. And Chapman is like, actually, no, the Yeerks sound truly kind of sick as fuck. So I think I'm going to side with them. He is the worst. He's the worst. Alaran just laughs at him about this.
Have you seen Battlestar Galactica?
No.
Oh, he is very much the Gaius Baltar of I'll do whatever to save my own skin kind of shit.
Yeah. True neutral, we'll say.
I don't know if it's true neutral. It's more just like self-serving above all.
Yeah. He sucks. He sucks really bad. Alaran says that their plan is that they're going to get onto the Taxon homeworld. They're going to morph Taxons, and then they are probably going to have to fight a lot. To which Elfangor and Arbron are like, yay! Carnage! Fucked up. Really fucked up. But Elfangor is kind of lying about being stoked. And Arbron can tell that Elfangor is kind of lying. We do know from the training scene in like the very first chapter that Elfangor is like an okay fighter, but he gets way too into his head. And then the second that he just lets himself rely on pure instinct, he is extremely formidable. When he is overthinking things, he's like mid in battle. And it seems like a lot of this is driven by like this sense of unease that he has. Like if it's him defending himself, his body will act before his mind even has a moment to process it. So that doesn't seem to have the same impact on him. But when he's actively thinking about being in physical combat that he has initiated, he's not so good, which I think is very sweet.
Yeah, I want to specifically call out the line that Alaran gives them, because I feel like it's important for later reasons, is the like, you two Eris, they're going to have to grow up very fast now. I need warriors at my side. Are you ready to be warriors? Which is a very, like the propaganda kicks in. It's the, he's asking them because he's like, I gotta get these kids ready to do some fucked up shit that they are not prepared for. But it's the like, are you ready to be warriors, right?
Yeah.
And, Elfangor's like, I dreamt about this for years. Like, yes, we're ready. And then he's like, but actually, no, death's scary. We'll just put a pin in that for the end of the book.
Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I haven't revisited any part of this book since finishing it. And yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've got some bookends for you.
I'm stoked.
Nevermorphed is hosted, edited, and produced by Will Williams. Our theme music is The Chase by Joey Hendricks. Our title is by Eddie Feely, and this podcast would not exist without Mike Schubert's podcast, Potterless and the Newest Olympian. You can find his works at shub.es, that's shub.es. Nevermorphed is a proud member of Hug House Productions. You can find more at hughouse.productions and follow us on Tumblr at Nevermorphed. Get morphin'!
Hi, hello, listener of Nevermorphed. If you like this show, I am convinced you are going to love The Newest Olympian by Mike Schubert. Why am I so certain? Because that's one of the shows that inspired this show. Real ones who listen to the credits already know. Each week, Mike dives into the Percy Jackson series, which I love, joined by guests who are longtime fans of the Rick Riordan series. If you haven't read these books yet, this is the perfect way to get started and read along with Mike. They're so good. And like Animorphs, they're kids' books that touch on way more serious topics than you might expect. And they're about worldwide mythologies, starting with Greek and Roman. I know you gays love mythology. If you have already read the books and know how good they are, you'll love this series too. The dramatic irony, man. And if you know about the books from the Disney Plus series, Mike has done interviews and conversations with some of the cast of the show on The Newest Olympian too. Mike is a great host, a great editor, and obviously a huge inspiration for me. You can find The Newest Olympian in the show notes or wherever you get your podcasts. Go subscribe right now and enjoy.